is on. Good evening. Welcome to the February 22nd meeting of the Lake Forest Historic Preservation Commission. Commission is here tonight to work together with all of you, property owners, neighbors, architects, to continue the tradition that was established nearly 40 years ago in this community. That tradition is a review process that allows community members to work together to preserve the qualities and unique character that make Lake Forest a special community. City of Lake Forest is committed to conducting open and democratic meetings. To achieve that goal, meeting procedures have been adopted by the Commission, and a copy of the procedures is available at the back of the room on each agenda. As always, it's the intent of the Commission to help manage the development and growth of the City of Lake Forest with a keen sense of preserving the historic structures and open space in the city for all its present and future residents. Our goal is to move each petition before us tonight through the review process as quickly as possible, while balancing the interests of the petitioners, neighboring property owners, and larger community. And we'll start this evening with an introduction of the commissioners.
Susan Athenson.
Mary Ellen Swenson.
Guy Berg.
Kurt Pairitz.
Fred Moyer.
Bill Ransom.
Jim Preschlack.
And our first order of business is we've got some meeting minutes from last week's meeting, or last month's meeting, I believe, the January meeting. And I'm going to see if anybody has any comments, suggestions, or corrections for those meeting minutes. I see none, so I'll ask if anyone wants to make a motion to approve those.
So motion.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Preschlack, seconded by Commissioner Berg. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so we've approved the meeting minutes.
Can I just clarify, that was two sets of minutes, regular meeting and executive session?
Yes, I took that to be one set of meeting minutes, the way that they were published, but it is both meeting minutes that we're talking about. All right. All right, we're going to jump right into it. A new petition is our first order of business to request for Certificate of Appropriateness approving the addition of an existing residence and building scale variance for 395 Ahwahnee Road. I'll ask if anybody has any ex parte conflicts on this one, and I see none, so jump right in when you're ready.
Chairman, board members, I'm presenting 395 North Ahwahnee Road for Mike and Jackie Wynn. Just some property history. The original property was a 4-lot subdivision in 1929. The current property was quitclaim deeded away in 1949. The city approved a building permit in the early 50s. The original house, which you'll see later, was designed by, Jerome Cerny. It was a colonial-inspired home with a typical Cerny detail, especially the bays on the front of the home. The city approved a significant addition and detached garage in 2004. And then my clients, Mike and Jackie Wynn, purchased the home in the fall of 2011. The addition, our goal was to connect the existing detached garage to the home. The garage was part of the addition in 2004. What we're connecting to was the addition, the newer portion of the home in 2004. It's the appropriate location. The linking element is adjacent to the garage. It's the service wing of this home. And the addition itself, we set back from the garage facade 2 foot 9 inches. We believe it's appropriate massing. The freeze board at the top of the garage sets the height of the addition. The flat roof that we have on the linking element minimizes the massing and also provides a cleaner connection between the house and the garage. By having the flat roof and the lower roof, the addition is subservient to the house and to the garage. We believe we're using appropriate materials and detailing. We're essentially trying to stay within the vocabulary of the home. The wood freeze board and detailing is to match the existing. We're providing brick on the front and back. It's going to be painted and to match the existing to blend in. The window is to match the size and proportions of the existing windows on the addition. The door is being reclaimed from the garage and we're reusing it for the front entrance to the addition. And the bluestone stoops are going to match the pavers that are in the front and back. Typically north is up, but so that it fits, it's north is this way. This is the private drive. There's a stockade fence that runs along this area here. The drive into the detached garage is here. It's a 3-car detached garage. You can see here, this was the original Cerny home and sun porch. You can see the in-lot depth setbacks, and then this is the 1-story addition that we're proposing. Floor plan, north is up. Service drive is here. You can see the existing 3-car garage. The existing air condensers we've moved over back here and within beyond the inlet, the setbacks. Here's the addition itself. It's essentially front entrance, rear entrance to the backyard servicing the pool. It's linking the garage to the kitchen. It's also a secondary powder room, bathroom, informal mud room. The bathroom also services, we hope to service the pool that's in the backyard. This is the existing addition that was added on in 2004. The front elevation to the private road, this is the existing 3-car garage. They have this kind of, it was designed nice little portico in front with a slightly curved roof. This is just kind of a section through the addition to bypass the front part of the house. And then this is our linking element. You can see here the same freeze board that lines up with here, that it's a flat roof. And it's subservient to both of the structures. The rear of the addition is here, the existing 3-car garage, the family room that kind of juts off and follows the 50-foot setback. And then the addition itself, essentially a pair of French doors. We're keeping it simple, punched openings. It's the south elevation, so that linking element will have nice southern exposure and be bright and airy for the winds. Just a quick section. You can see here that it's flat roof, that the gable beyond of the garage is still going to be exposed. It's not going to be covered up. The detail with the freeze board, it's a nice, clean, simple connection. Again, the whole purpose of this addition is to provide the function of connecting the garage to the house, but to essentially go away and not call any attention to itself. This is a before picture that we took in the late summer. And you can see here, this is where the addition's going to be, the existing 3-car garage. The addition here with a side entry porch that kind of mimics the front of the home. And this is what we're proposing. We kind of just photoshopped in the additions to give you an idea of what it's going to look like, what kind of impact that it has to not only the existing house and garage, but what kind of impact it will have if you're driving down the private road to any of the neighbors. Again, before the addition and then after the addition. And this picture was essentially taken right as you turned onto the property off of the private drive. And a whole series of pictures here. I just wanted to point out that there's a series of 4 homes here, I believe, maybe more, that the frontage is onto Deerpath. There's a long stockade fence that you can see here. These are the neighbors here. You can see that even in the dead of winter, when I just took these recently, that you really can't even see the existing houses. Essentially the addition that we're proposing is not going to be seen by anyone. Some of the pictures down here, the one neighbor to the west, I believe it's, these pictures are all so small, I think it's right over here. Essentially where the garage is now is going to block the addition. So the visual impact to that neighbor is he's seeing the garage, he's still going to see the garage. And so we're trying to be as conscientious as possible. And that's it.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a staff report?
Thank you, Chairman Pairitz. I'll keep my comments relatively brief. Just wanted to mention that the petitioner has been working on this project for several months and has carefully looked at different options on the site in order to accommodate a bathroom and a changing room for their pool and look for a way to accommodate that space on the property. After looking at the pros and cons of a detached structure of different configurations of the current design, the option that's before the commission is a connecting link between the main house and the garage. It has a flat roof. It's set back from the face of the existing structure, as was mentioned by the petitioner this evening. This option does require a zoning variance from the Zoning Board of Appeals, but it does appear to be the least obtrusive to the site and to surrounding properties. The zoning board is scheduled to review this item next Monday for approval. The request before the Historic Preservation Commission this evening is for the design of the addition as well as a building scale variance. The existing home is just slightly under building scale requirements. This project, I believe, is only 190 square feet and pushes it slightly over the required square footage. There are positive findings in your staff report with respect to the design as well as the building scale variance. I would like to remind the commission that the commission now acts as a recommending body to the city council with respect to building scale variances for your motion, given the recent code amendment that passed earlier this year. The recommendation in the staff report is in support of the project, but I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
All right, thank you very much. And now's the opportunity for any commissioners that might have questions for either the petitioner or the staff.
I was just curious, in 2006, was there any part of the plans that co-joined the garage and the structure as it was submitted to the city? Or was it always independent?
I believe the plans that were approved were for a detached structure. I don't recall seeing any ones that attached it.
And I just wanted to ask, you know, in order for us to do our due diligence, it's not very usual for us to approve an overage of, you know, bulk. And just to make sure that we're doing the right thing, can you kind of explain to us what the need for the overage is?
Well, they would like to be able to have attach the garage to the house. It's a functional issue. You know, the days that it's snowing and it's cold out, to be able to have that access without having to go outside the garage, go inside the garage. And we did look at other options. We did look at the detached structure in the back. With two of the major oak trees in the back just having to be cut down because they were diseased. That's where we were looking at putting this detached structure. So we thought that, you know, impact now, even especially with the trees not being there, that this was the best solution to minimize the impact to the neighbors. And we are asking for an overage, but if we look at it from a different perspective, the impact from a massing perspective, the impact from a visual perspective, like if you were driving down that roadway, you'd be hard pressed to see the addition. And then that's why we had designed it that way. With staff, working with staff, we looked at other options, the detached structure. In the front, we looked at actually adding a front porch to it and kind of picking up the columns. And we found together with staff that actually was drawing attention to itself and really wasn't giving us what we were trying to achieve, which is something that was just going to kind of fade away. You know, my opinion is not all massing is equal, and we are asking for an overage, but the massing that we're asking for is less impactful than other overages.
So you're essentially serving two functional needs. One would be the mudroom,
Right.
but you currently don't have a mudroom. Is that
They
right?
have one, but it's kind of off to the side, and it really is non-functioning, yes.
And then it's a pool house, so you're kind of
Right,
combining
right.
both. Okay.
Right, and again, then we're being respectful to the neighbors because, I mean, I designed it, I'm trying to be humble here, but it was a really cute structure. So architecturally, I would think it would be nicer to put that up, but not everybody's going to look at it that way. So on this project, as you kind of put that in your back pocket and you say, okay, we're just trying to do the least amount of impact and just be modest about it. And I think we've done that with the addition.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that. That leads me to my next question for alternatives, because, you know, I'm looking at this thinking, at first I thought maybe it was too subtle. You know, maybe, you know, you needed to do something, you know how the garage steps back a little bit, and then you just have this tiny little part. So you did consider maybe adding a roof or continuing the porch, or?
That was a suggestion by Megan, and we looked at it, and we shared it with her, and we kind of talked about it, and we both agreed that it was just, at some point it can't be something that it's not. And so the addition that was done in 2004 by Susan Rolander, she did a really nice job with the garage and the addition. And, if you start to try to compete with it by doing something else, then I think at that point you're losing the purpose of it. And then you're creating massing, or you're creating, visual impact that you don't really want to do. I mean, we know we're asking for an overage, and so we wanted to be modest about it.
Okay. All right, thank you. By the way, this house was on the home tour several years ago, right after that addition, and it was done really well. It was beautiful.
Other questions or comments for either the staff or the petitioner?
I have a question for the staff. This is before us because it's in the district. This property itself doesn't have a designation or isn't considered a contributing structure.
That's correct. The home is within the Green Bay Road Historic District. At the time that the district was established, it was not noted as a contributing structure, probably due to the age of the structure at that time.
Okay. Do we know why in 2004, when the addition and detached garage was built or was approved, that they didn't have an attached garage at that time? Was there anything that we know about that?
It simply wasn't proposed at that time.
That's all the questions.
Any other questions? Okay, now is an opportunity for the public to comment, if there is any public comment. Anybody have a comment?
Mike, did you want to speak?
It's okay, you don't have to.
I think he's expressed the two functions that we wanted to serve.
Okay, thanks. All right, well, we can deliberate at will. Anyone want to jump in? I mean, I think this is a fairly straightforward plan. In my view, the purpose of the bulk ordinance is really protective from both the standpoint of neighbors and for the community overall in terms of impacts. And I think that this is a pretty light impact. So I don't really have any problem with it. It's all in character with the existing construction. I think if it were my house, I'd probably want this connection, so it's one way to grade it, so I don't have any problems with it myself. Anybody else have any comments?
Yeah, I'll just, Mike, it says 10 feet. That's how far the garage is from the house right now? 10 feet?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really close.
Yeah.
It's actually, I think, inordinately close, and it benefits greatly by eliminating that little gangway. It's kind of I think, a detraction from the house. So in that regard, I think that it does a lot more than just serve a practical need. I think aesthetically, it fixes up something that's really not right. So I'm in favor of it for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, I agree. I think there seems to be a need, a functional need, and they've done their, due diligence with looking at alternatives, and, it actually complements the house, so I agree.
It's good, it's subtle, it's nice.
All right, I'll ask if there's a motion.
I move we approve the petition as presented tonight.
All right, so the motion's been made to approve the petition and recommend the building scale variance. The motion's been made by Commissioner Athenson and seconded by Commissioner Moyer. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations. Good luck with that. Thank you. All right. Our next agenda item is a request for certificate of appropriateness approving removal and replacement of the garden room at Southgate Cafe, 655 Forest Avenue. And I'll ask if anyone has an ex parte conflict.
Mr. Chairman, I did have an ex parte communication with the owner when I inspected the property, but our conversation didn't contain anything that isn't in the petition and the public record, so.
Okay, I don't think that's a conflict. So I think we're good. Come on up and let us know what you're proposing. Only if you do about it.
Yeah, this is a pretty straightforward proposal. It is, as you said, a garden room replacement. there is a single-story structure right now, which was built in 86, 1980, I believe, and it's in pretty bad shape right now. So all we're doing is removing this and replacing it.
Could you, we have folks on the home audience too, so if you could use the microphone, please, thank you. And could you also just introduce yourself for us? Thank you.
Oh, I'm Mayur Modi, and actually, I'm filling in for Mark Nauer.
Okay, that's
Nauer
fine.
Incorporated. Mark should be rushing in very soon.
No problem. Thank you.
So I'll fill in as long as I could. As you can see here, does this pointer work? Yeah, this is the existing plan, where this is the existing garden room structure. It's a single-story lean-to structure with a plastic roof right now, and what we are proposing is replacing it with a more permanent, appropriate structure. The existing elevation, as you look straight up, that's the structure which is better seen on this north elevation. This is the lean-to structure, and this is the existing building, and so is this. As you can see on the proposed elevation, what we are trying to build here is nothing but a match of what was built in the 86 edition or 1996 edition, which is seen right here. So it's a replica of that. It's a single story, but better stable structure than what it is right now. And in addition, the roof is a flat roof, and what the owners of the restaurant would like to do is to use this as a seating, which you enter from this door. So as you can see, all the existing is maintained. The stucco, the brick, the roof line, nothing is altered. And then there were 3 existing window openings. One of them we are using as a door access to this deck area. This deck actually faces the market square across of it. And this is just more of the same, the sectional elevation view and some details of this door that I was referring to. Due to the height restrictions, we are raising a roof with a dormer, and again the roofing material matches with the standing seam roof that the addition is built out of. Rest of all the proposed materials for this addition matches the building, which is the windows, which is aluminum clad wood windows, the trims, the color, the paint color of the trims, and the stucco. So more or less, the addition on the first floor is more or less going to look like this. I don't know why it's going away. And this is one of the primary reasons of the replacement of the garden room, is that it's really in a bad shape, and I guess all we are proposing is to replace it with a better structure.
All right, well, I'm sure we have some questions. Why don't we have the staff give their report, and then we'll follow up with some questions, and that'll give your cohort an opportunity to get organized too. So,
Okay.
Kathy, do you have a staff report for us? Why don't we do that? Thank you.
First, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce the new owner of Southgate, Mark Westcott. The project as proposed is really a long overdue replacement. In 2007, the commission saw a very similar project to remove the garden room and to replace it on the same footprint. At that time, there was some discussion about some detailing that would better match the rest of the existing structure, and I think in this proposal, that detailing has come forward. I think this is one piece of several exciting things that are happening in the Central Business District. The Commission's been involved in some of them. And the thought of upgrading the space, but also offering another type of dining opportunity, maybe not right at the beginning, but with this garden room being constructed in a way that could later be used for seating on the top, that really presents a unique opportunity to look over Market Square or to hear the concerts on the square. I don't really have anything else to add. I did meet with Mr. Nauer, who just walked in, and Mr. Westcott, and we walked through the structure and discussed all the detailing, and I think the plans presented are quite well detailed, and I would just direct your questions to the petitioners if you
Great,
have some.
thanks, Kathy. All right, well, this exciting change that's been proposed. I do have a couple questions for you, and so maybe we can jump into those, and if you have any other comments, you can offer them as well. Most of my questions are with respect to the second floor. The doorway that's added to the second floor, was that added to be a minimal element, or was there, because that's a new opening, not replacing a window, right?
It is replacing a window.
Oh, it is? Which
Yeah,
window
there
is
is
it?
presently a window in that location.
So go back to that picture of the existing,
Yeah, it's,
You can't see it.
it's behind the
behind.
the gable? Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
There's a bit of an overbuild there.
I see.
A flat roof that was built over top of the old greenhouse. So, and you really,
So
You
that
can't
little
see.
piece of roof goes away, is it, am I making this up, or is that roof
No, no.
continue all the way to the wall?
I'm sorry.
Is what I'm looking at, that the wall continues all the way to the corner?
Yeah, there is, right here,
Yep,
is the second floor line for the addition. And that is built over top of the greenhouse enclosure. So it's just timber frame, it's pretty simple construction. So we're proposing taking that off and rebuilding that as part of the new garden room.
okay. So does the deck itself kind of pocket back into the south? Is that what's happening?
Yes, the presently in plan view, do we have a second floor plan?
The double
Yes.
door.
Okay, up on the right, this is a mechanical room.
I see.
Presently, this is the roof piece that's there, that's built over the garden room today.
I see.
Or over the sort of greenhouse kind of structure. And so we're proposing tearing all of that out and replacing it.
I got it. So that doorway is actually quite secluded from the eye. It's hard to see that door.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We really won't, and it's,
It'll be kind of like right in there.
Yeah.
So you're
yeah.
walking kind of to
Yeah,
a
it's the
wall
roof.
when you're coming out of that
And what-
door,
what's-
right?
what's-
And then okay.
What's the existing roof material of this building? Do you know? Is it just, almost looks,
no, the roof material, of the garden room?
we want you to match that. No, the
Plexiglass.
structure, the larger structure.
Smoke, of the old firehouse and police station?
Yeah,
Slate, yeah.
slate, it is slate, okay. It's hard to tell from the picture. Any other questions for the petitioner?
So that door then, actually, I think behind that door, if you go back to the elevation that you had, was probably more fun. The one that shows the door. I was just up there last fall for, I think we were in that room. Is that one of those little gathering rooms or? Yeah, and you rent that out on the weekends to various groups to have some kind of an occasion. And in fact, people have wedding rehearsals too, I think, and rent this out. So that's one of the things about the second floor that's not as elegant as the first level, is that you get all that great outside market square, outside space interaction. So now with that door, in the reasonably fair weather, people that are cooped up in that room, they can spill out and have that roof-type cocktail and look down over the square, and out-of-town people can go, oh boy, I gotta come back and shop, spend money, right? It's kind of like our version of the Cliff Dwellers Club, you know? It's very interesting, okay? And you're gonna definitely put that door in then, or is that's part of the proposal?
Yeah, that's part of the plan.
Okay.
Not only that, if you've ever walked up those stairs from the bar room to
Yes,
the
yes, yeah,
the
right.
Market Club, there is a wall around that stairwell, so it's very confining, little 3'6" stairwell. Well, we're proposing tearing that wall out and opening all of that space up so that it becomes pre-function space that links the Market Club to this outdoor area. So when you're standing there, there's it ties all of this.
You'll be
space
able to
together
see up the stairway is what you're saying,
Yes.
like an exposed stairwell in a house.
with a railing around.
Oh, how interesting, yeah. That's very,
I'm getting a little off
Okay.
topic.
So, I mean, the only thing that kind of strikes me as maybe curious is that the addition, the whole structure was added on to the south is a standing seam roof. The existing building where this doorway is a slate roof, but you chose to use the standing seam roof over the doorway.
Yeah, it's too flat.
Too flat for a
Yes,
slate roof.
and what we didn't want to do, and it would be copper, it would be the same material as the flashing on the building, and it would age over time like the rest of the copper flashing on the building. Won't be perfectly green the first couple of years, we all know, it turns brown then green. But that roof, when you look at the section, is just too flat. And it was awkward to try to get a higher pitch to that roof to take it. So really, it's just a little dormer, essentially, to get the headroom out. Not an unusual detail for this type of architecture.
And what is that pitch? That's, looks like it's about 512-ish.
You can see it here, I'm not really, I don't know, I have to. My partner, who's the technical guy, said we can't put slate on it. What is, you know,
Just the question is, we're debating up here whether or not we care. Well, I mean, I
well,
think,
the owner will when it leaves.
I suspect that there's a technical way to make the slate roof work there, but the question is do we care whether it's copper or slate, or, you know, I mean, I think it's a nice solution in either case. You just gotta be careful how you execute it both ways. You know, I don't know if you have an opinion on that one, Fred, but, go ahead.
You know, I think the copper is a much better choice, because if you were going with slate, you run into the problem of matching the slate with the existing roof, and it very likely would not, in fact, match. So I think this is a good direction.
There you go.
Yeah, if anything, you can make it flatter, you know, as far as we care, it might look better flatter, that's up to you.
Yeah, that's interesting comment too. All right, let's see if there's any other questions for either
Just a
staff.
few questions. Are they true divided light windows that you're using?
I'm sorry.
Are the windows true divided light?
True divided light,
Okay,
yes.
great. Will they open?
Yes, here, we can take a look at that. One of the goals, Mayor, if we show the lower elevation, please, for the photos. Yeah. Well, no, let's go to, if you look at these windows, these are the windows that we're essentially matching so that the architecture flows all the way around the outside, the outdoor garden area. These windows are just typical casement windows. What we're proposing on the other side is actually using trifold windows so that the whole opening opens. So when you're sitting there, and we show that here, and there's a system that we've used, I can't remember the name, but anyway, that all three of those windows push to one side, and so you're sitting there up against the low knee wall, and you feel like you're part of the outdoor dining. So that's the idea.
Is
So
that what
then
they
if-
do in Miramar and Highwood? Is that?
They have
Yeah,
doors,
essentially.
though, don't they? Yeah, they have doors.
Those are actually doors.
Oh, they're doors.
These are windows on a knee wall, so.
So any screens on there, or just, you'll just have them open?
No.
And any plans for the plexiglass like you have over the bistro? You know how you have, or not plexiglass, the glass in porch?
Yeah, because in the winter, these close and seal
Seal, so they're
well.
good, okay.
And they have compressible seals in the casings, so,
No, okay.
yeah, you don't have to worry about that, yeah.
And same with the top, you don't plan on enclosing the balcony up there in any way with,
No.
I don't know how you would, but just wanted to ask a question, okay. You know, I just had another question too, is this a slab on grade?
No, it's a,
Or is
has
it a foundation? Oh, it does, okay, okay, because,
But it is slab on grade. I mean, there's no crawl space or basement.
not that I'm an expert on that at all, but, you know, I just had lunch there last week, so I could see, you know, just the settling, you know, the leaking, and just wondering if, you know, do we have any kind of requirements that it has to be a certain foundation to handle that load above? Or this, I mean, I'm assuming this will be
There would be,
sufficient.
and there would be, it'd be a footing, and it's shown as a footing, so
So-
I
and
think
that's
that
sufficient,
and
given
it
it's-
likely is not on a footing now, it's probably was a patio that was just enclosed, right?
Yeah, there is a footing there.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, and actually, the best thing about what's there is that slab and the foundation. The rest has deteriorated. The actual slab, the concrete, we could even look in the picture, is in great shape.
That's interesting.
That's the good news. Go figure, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Other questions?
My lunch companions today asked me to ask about the tree. Will that be impacted at all?
No, because
It
we're
doesn't
not
seem-
digging in the dirt.
Right? And
I know, I'm
the
sorry, I
height seems
interrupted you.
fine. No, then the height seems fine to me, but
Yeah.
I just have to ask.
Yeah.
Nice segue, though.
But I will note, we have talked about the two trees on the patio, and I know that you've had some work done on it. Our city arborist has also looked at those trees, and no relation to the addition, but those trees are not in great shape. So unfortunately, at some point, some portions are cabled already, but if it becomes a clear safety issue, I'm sure that the owner and the city too will want to address it. So just to put you on record, no one wants to lose them, but at some point it's going to happen.
Actually, Dave Story looked at them and found them to be in better condition than we thought. I think he talked to the arborist, but they're in good shape I mean, they're old, so they're not gonna stay up there forever, but for the foreseeable future, they should be fine. They just need some trimming and cleaning up.
Thanks. All right, I'll ask if there's any comments from the public, opportunity, and I see none, so now we can deliberate if we haven't already. And anybody have any thoughts other
Oh,
than?
big improvement.
Yeah.
I think,
The other
yeah.
one looks fabulous.
All right,
Another good one.
If there was a need for any subcommittee with, obviously, some complementary, you know,
well, nice,
just threw it out there.
yeah, good.
Good try, Greg.
Nice try.
I think that's in Chicago now.
Yeah. I'll buy you a drink there. All right, I'll ask for a motion then, if anyone wants to make one.
I make a
move
motion,
to-
we,
sorry?
go ahead, I did the first one, you did second.
I move to approve the petition as submitted.
All right, the motion's been made by Commissioner Preschlack, and it's been seconded by Commissioner Athenson.
Thank you.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So that one passes unanimously. Good luck, we're excited to see the new improvements. Thank you. No. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Other building. All right, we have only two other quick agenda items. We have an opportunity for the public to address Historic Preservation Commission on any non-agenda items, if there is anyone that wants to address us. And I see none, and so we'll ask the staff if there's any other additional information for upcoming agenda items.
I just wanted to let you know that we do expect Forest Park to be on your next agenda. That would be the March, I'm sorry, I don't know the date. We would expect it to come before the commission in March and then again in April. So I know some people were expecting it tonight. And we will put those dates once they are confirmed on our website.
All right, thank you very much. I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Berg and seconded by Commissioner Preschlack. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And we're done. Thank you. We
Wow.
record time this
Definitely a
evening. Good
record.
night.
That is absolutely.
Someone pray